What is that? Death. Racing toward the stairwell, Ryan tore open the door and slammed it closed while something pounded against the other side. Go! He instructed as the steel began to buckle. Is that darkness? Rain asked in disbelief. It's shadow. As they reached the lobby, the door exploded. How are you with heat? I don't like it. When the lights began to flicker, Rain changed her mind. I like it when it keeps me safe, though. Swinging his blade, Ryan took a step forward and a massive ring of flames suddenly encircled them. Keep away from the dark. Purposely moving toward them, a large black mass suddenly began to encroach, and the dense fog that surrounded it started to part. Staring down at them, a hideous skull with hollowed yellow eyes hung amidst a pair of shadowed jaws that spread to reveal teeth connected like the bars of a cell. As the monster howled, the two of them were forced to cover their ears. Can't you create that portal? Not without lowering the shield. Cover your eyes. Drawing a deep breath, a beam of red light erupted from the end of Ryan's sword. Filling the room, it shattered the windows, and the demon gave a horrible scream. Once it had cleared, the power returned, and Sam lay unconscious against the floor. Rain opened one eye. Did you kill him? Ryan shook his head. He's alive, just out of it. That was way too close. I'm gonna bring us back to our time. Hopefully it'll be daylight. Why? Is that thing gonna attack us again? It might, he admitted, as reality began to bend once more. I'm not certain, but we probably stand a better chance of trying to talk to him when the sun is out. I can't leave Greenville without telling my friend she has to get out of town. The weapon disappeared from Ryan's hands as time shifted back to their own. Standing in the middle of the hospital lobby, it was the early hours of the morning and nobody was around to notice. Groaning uneasily, Sam ran a hand along his face, eyes having returned to their original blue. Ugh, what happened? He asked as he stared around the room. Where the hell? What am I doing here? What's the last thing you remember? Rain's eyes were a similar color. Ugh, not much. Wincing slightly, he caught his bandaged arm. Oh, fuck! How'd that happen? Got bit. By what? Teeth, what do you think? He muttered as he reached into his pocket to pull out the strange clothed object he'd been holding before. What is that? Ryan asked with the same wariness. Salvation. Removing the cloth, Sam revealed a small rectangular tablet made entirely of pure silver. Don't tell me you got bit by a werewolf. Rain thought perhaps it had saved him from being mauled. A werewolf? Please, a werewolf I could have handled. Sam, you've got no muscle mass and you're a smoker. A werewolf cub could use you as a chew toy. Just tell us what bit you. Why? Judging by the way you're looking at me? His gaze dropped. You already know. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, you're sorry. Yeah, you're so sorry. He shook his head. Not as sorry as I am. You know what it was like to watch them die? To see that thing tear them apart? Tear who apart? Ryan asked. You ever heard of a place called Mountain Creek? He shook his head. Figures. You don't watch the news? I failed out high school. It was either summer camp or the military. Right now I'm really wishing I'd chosen the military. The shadow killed everyone at the camp? Oh yeah, they're all gone. Though I'm not sure killed would be the right word. More like torn to absolute shreds. What about Greenville? How come it was empty? I don't know about Greenville. I just woke up in the hospital. How'd this even happen, Sam? You were fine before. It's a long story with a short moral. You see this? He held up the slab. In 25 words or less, some royal asshat built a summer camp over some kind of ancient ruin. This stupid little rock? He looked down at the strange inscription carved into the front. It's got some kind of incantation written on it. Supposed to be able to banish that thing. It worked, but... He glanced down at his arm. There was a slight setback. Rain turned to Ryan for an explanation. It's been following him his whole life. Is it a coincidence he ended up at that camp? The notion of destiny frightened her. No, Sam answered for him. It led me there. It set me the fuck up. I didn't see it. I didn't want to see it. God, I need a smoke. What about Leah? Rain asked suddenly. She didn't go, did she? No, he shook his head. She wasn't there. Hadn't seen her since way before then, actually. I'm still gonna drag her out of this town, Rain muttered. What do we do now? We can't afford to waste time. If you really have to, I suppose we can stop by and warn your friend, but we can't leave Vansel unattended or we may have even bigger problems. Hey, that calendar's wrong, Sam noticed as Ryan explained. It says 2012. Well, we kinda needed your help with something. Say what? You remember about a year ago, Rain and I asked you to help us put a stop to a guy named Vance? Oh, I see where this is going. Yeah, well, we needed a powerful ally and we didn't really have the time to ask. Whoa, stop, he held up a hand. You're telling me you just brought me back in time? Sort of. But before you go running off to try and change it, time is linear. It doesn't shift the way people think. You can move through it, but you can't change it. If you try, you'll wind up trapping yourself in an infinite paradoxical loop. Your future has already happened. Also, there's a copy of you running around in this time, and unless you've run into him between this point and a year from now... Ryan shook his head, although Sam's expression only grew even more ghosted. Sam, please, Rain sighed. Vance has gone off the deep end. He tore apart Las Vegas in 2 days. The Shadow can stop him. It might as well do something good for once. Whoa. What are you saying? You're not seriously suggesting... He didn't bother to finish as he followed them toward the door and stopped at the light that poured through the glass. What? Ryan looked back. Does it bother you? Rain asked. No, I just stopped here because I wanted to. What the fuck do you think? Don't cop an attitude with me, you asshole. After what I've been through, I can cop an attitude with whoever the fuck I damn please. You see this? Sam held up the stone. This is the only thing keeping you and Doc Brown over there alive right now. Ryan didn't appreciate the remark. Reaching into his pocket, he pulled out a pair of sunglasses and handed them over. Here, put them on, shut up, and for the love of God, don't let go of that stone. I was just starting to feel bad for you, too, Rain said darkly. You know, Sam begrudgingly took the glasses and shoved past them. Even 2 years in the future, or past, or wherever the fuck we are, you're still a royal bitch. And you're still a mouthy little shit. Excuse me, but as I recall, you're the one who just asked for my help. So if I were you, I'd be kissing my ass right now. Maybe I'll lay some flowers on your grave, but don't bet on it. Ha! Little late for that. Holding her tongue, Rain walked in the direction of Leah's. Sam followed behind while Ryan decided to keep out of it. Slightly amused by their dynamic, he said nothing as they approached the Victorian home. Leah! Rain knocked frantically. Leah, open up! Bottle green eyes peered through the peephole. What are you doing here? She asked as she flung open the door. I thought you were in Vegas. Forget about why I'm here. Rain wasn't going to waste time. You have to leave. Leah, this place isn't safe anymore. Pack your things. Take everything to your parents. Sam, she lowered her voice. That thing really is attached to him and it's going to do terrible things here. Don't go to any summer camps either. Please, Leah, for the love of everything. What? What's going on? We've got problems. Ryan spoke up with a faint sympathy. If you know Rain, then you probably know Vance. There's been a slight inconvenience. As far as this town goes, you should probably leave. The future? Let's just say it's kind of grim. I'll leave tonight. You have to, Rain pleaded. And don't go to Vegas. Yeah, you might want to avoid Vegas, Ryan agreed while Sam looked down at his arm. Hey, you guys, he called. You got some extra gauze I can rewrap this with before my friggin' arm falls off? Rain stopped talking to stare. Let me see. Oblivious to the notion that she could have been interested in anything other than helping, in his absent-mindedness, Sam overlooked the fact she was a vampire. Don't touch it, it hurts like a son of a bitch. Rain, no! Leah raced to hold her back. Unfortunately, she was quicker and grabbed Sam's arm to take a chunk out of the wound. Rain, control yourself! Ryan demanded as Sam stared at her in shock. Oh, you fucking idiot! What did you just do? What? She asked sharply as she regained herself. It's an infection, he yelled while the others continued to restrain her. You just bit me! Haven't you ever seen a zombie movie? I barely touched you. Rain spat at his feet. Doesn't matter. You get any of my blood in your mouth and game over. Rain! Leah looked at her impaled. Rain, god damn it! How do we fix it? Ryan demanded. You don't. It's not a curable thing. No, if you don't mind, I'm gonna need a new bandage before this gets any worse. Come with me, Leah said testily. Why are you so goddamn stupid? I got a lot of things on my mind right now, okay? And worrying about your vampire friend is not on my to-do list. Excuse me if maybe I didn't think she was gonna be dumb enough to try and take a chunk out of me. Stepping into the bathroom, Sam sat down on the tub. Just leave the gauze on the counter. There's gonna be a lot of blood. I'll take care of this myself. I'm not into feeding off of people like you. Leah turned away and he flung the door closed after her. Looking back at his reflection, he pulled a scissor from the medical cabinet and very meticulously began to cut away at the wrapping. The doctors had bound it a little too tightly, and the moment he removed it, a turn of blood oozed into the sink. Fuck! He screamed as the bandage fell apart, revealing a limb that was hardly recognizable. The wound was savage, running the length of his shoulder straight down to his wrist. Huge gash marks tore into his flesh, revealing the muscle beneath. The entire thing was lathered in a bizarre and disturbing black liquid that poured out alongside copious amounts of pus. Oh, fuck me! Lines of black had begun to travel his veins in either direction. Catching his reflection, he pulled down the neck of his shirt and grimaced at the sight of the spreading disease. He could be heard screaming profanities as he removed his hat to examine a pair of curved black antennae that ran from the base of his skull to about chin level. What the fuck is this? Grabbing them both, Sam looked mortified. Oh man, this is gonna ruin my week for sure. What's going on in there? Leah knocked on the door. Hearing the noise as well, Rain darted into the house. What happened? She asked, momentarily distracted from her own crisis. Nothing, Sam lied and yanked his hat back on the best he could. I dropped a scissor. Following after Rain, Ryan caught wind of the vulgarities. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. It just hurts. Give me a few minutes. I'll be right out. Shutting the faucet, Sam fixed his hat so it would rest naturally and opened the door about 3 minutes later. Good news is your sink still works. Bad news? He bit his lip. This shit is really grilling me. I don't think I'm gonna make it all the way to Vegas. I don't even think I got more than a couple of hours left, to be honest. Is there any way to cure it? Rain kept her distance to where she was most likely not too far behind. Just this. Sam pulled out the slab again. And the cure is death. The inscription on this thing will kill anyone infected. Lucky me, I got hit after the fact. How's that possible? Long story, but I don't plan on reading it again. Not that I can anyway, considering the translation is gone. Gone? You lost it? She asked in outrage. Yeah. When you're running for your life, you don't tend to stop and pick things up. Leah rubbed her face. That's what purses are for, Sam. I'm not a fucking broad. I don't carry a purse. He crossed his arms and his eyes fell on Rain. How are you feeling? Leah asked her worriedly. I'm fine. Yeah, and I'm the Queen of France. Oh, look, we don't have time for this, Ryan snapped. Vance is still out there, and while we're standing around here, people are dying. I understand this is a dire situation, and forgive my bluntness, but you've been screwed since the day you were born, he said to Sam. And you? His eyes fell on Rain. Maybe this will work to our advantage. You don't seem to be experiencing symptoms, and you didn't get too much of his blood in your mouth. If Vancelin is afraid of the archetype, then between you two, we might have a chance. Not to mention you're half vampire. You may have more control over it than he would. Thanks a lot, asshole, Sam said flatly. We need to go. Now. Ryan summoned his blade to open a portal, and Sam brought up a hand to shield his eyes, having left the sunglasses in the bathroom. Enjoying the sunshine? Ryan said snidely. Ryan, do you have a trace on Vance? Not yet. Holy shit! Did we just jump halfway across the country in like 10 seconds? Although he didn't receive a response, Sam kept going. You know, a couple of weeks ago, this would have seemed really strange to me. You're more aware of the world now. I hope you fucking combust. Ignoring them both, Ryan's expression became grave. That's odd, he said, more to himself than the others. What is? Rain asked, ignoring Sam as well. Vancelin is definitely here, but for some reason, I'm also picking up Soren. Soren? Wait a minute, you know Fish Kid? This time Ryan stopped. Excuse me, that's my cousin you're talking about, asshole. Really? You a fish boy too? No, he said darkly. Sam, stop. Could Soren have come back to get Vance? I don't know. I've been looking for him for weeks. I followed his signature trail to Vegas and I found you. Well, maybe your magic stick there is broken. Sam pointed to the blade and Ryan looked at him flatly. You're mutating, he said as Sam looked down. Both his thumb and pointer finger were now entirely black, slanted upward into dagger-like claws. Oh man, this is some fucked up District 9 shit, he whined and stuffed his hand into his pocket. I don't want to be a prawn, Rain swallowed thickly. We'll figure something out, Ryan assured her, weapon vanishing as they entered the city. Thankfully, it was still standing, however the damage was evident. Several casinos were demolished and the streets were currently flooded with upturned vehicles. As for Vance, he was nowhere to be seen, although the aftermath of his rampage was clear enough for everyone. Holy shit, this place looks like it was hit by a bomb. Chaos. We have to find him before nightfall or it's going to get worse. He might be at a casino, Rain suggested meekly. That thing isn't Vance anymore, it's not going to be playing cards. What the hell is it then? Sam asked. A problem. It'll probably be somewhere reclusive and dark. You can find him. Me? Yeah, it's a demon and you're halfway there already. You can hone in on him, can't you? To hell if I know. It's not like he came with an instruction manual. Shut your eyes, close your mouth, and try to sense him, Rain snapped. You set him loose that night. I didn't do that shit consciously. Why don't you try it? You're the vampire. Besides, you've been the one controlling him all this time, haven't you? Maybe you should just call your dog. He's not going to listen to her. We've already established that. Now do something. Like what? What do you want me to do? Click my fucking heels? I don't know how it works. If I did, you think I'd look like this? Sam held up his hand, which was only getting worse by the second. Shut your eyes and focus, Rain ordered. I'll do it too. Ugh. Closing his eyes, Sam opened them again about a minute later. Nope, I got nothing, he said as he went to lean against the side of a building and nearly fell headfirst into the wall. Holy shit! Staring in shock, the darkness rippled like water before returning to normal. Okay, I'm officially freaking the fuck out. What the hell is that? Rain's hair stood on end. Is that normal? Did you just fall through the wall? Ryan was actually somewhat surprised. Almost, Sam shuddered. I'm gonna have to watch that. Just don't touch anything. Oh yeah, easy for you to say. You wait until it happens to you. Enough. Stepping into the alley, Ryan summoned his blade. Find Vance, he instructed as the diamond began to spin. A ball of red light suddenly manifested at its tip before shooting down the street, ironically straight back in the direction of the hotel Vance and Rain had been staying.